Hello, Joshua here. So next, I will be talking about how we write code. Programs are made up of code, and code is basically the instructions that you give to the computer to perform. And these instructions are just known as statements. If we go back to this program we wrote earlier, you can see document.write hello world. Document.write is an instruction, or you can say a statement given to our computer, in this case the browser specifically, to print out something to the screen, which is hello world, and you can see that our browser shows hello world right there. You also need to know about syntax. So syntax has a set of rules we follow when writing code, or rather when giving a sentence, or when giving a statement. For instance, if you are speaking English, you know that there are ways to position your verbs and your nouns. The same way your programming languages have rules of how you can structure the programming statements so your computer can understand and follow the instructions effectively. For instance, if I were to write the instruction 1 plus 1, okay, this instruction tells the computer to add the number 1 and 1 together, which will give us 2. If I should replace that in the code I have earlier to print out, notice we get 2 printed out because the instruction I give to the computer was to add 1 and 1, which is 2, and then to print that out using document.write. Now, usually code will run from the top to the bottom, which means what comes first, the computer will execute. If I quickly bring back what we had here and take the hello world statement to the next line. So let's bring our document.write. Okay, so first line I have the document.write 1 plus 1, and on the next line I have hello world. If I save that and refresh the browser, you can see I get the 2 first before the hello world. If I switch places, now I get hello world before 2. What happens is the browser executes from the top to the bottom, so the statements will usually be executed in the order which they come. Something else you will notice is for each of these statements that I wrote, I have 2 statements here. I have a semicolon at the end. This is because in JavaScript you usually use a semicolon to indicate the end of a statement. Although JavaScript isn't so strict about this sometimes, but there are some programming languages, for instance Java, that will actually complain if you forget to add the semicolon. Python, on the other hand, doesn't use semicolons at all, so you wouldn't be seeing that if you're writing Python. But we're writing JavaScript for this course, and so we will be adding semicolon to indicate the end of each line of code. In summary, programs are made up of statements. Each line of statement executes and gives instructions to the computer, and when the computer performs those instructions, you have a program. The rules for writing a program is called syntax. You have to follow the syntax for the computer to understand how it should execute the program, and so those rules are known as syntax, and they are very important while creating programs. And also, code usually runs from top to bottom, so the statement that comes first will usually be executed before the statement that comes after it.